Hi, welcome back to the Jack and Glenn channel. I'm Jackie.
And I'm her husband, Glenn.
He's my husband, Glenn.
Hey, before we get started, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit that bell notification so you don't miss any of our reviews. We're out of town right now, but we decided that we had to give you guys a Married at First Sight review from this past episode of Married at First Sight, Parting Ways, season 16, episode number 9. Wow, what a lot of fireworks for this episode.
I mean, just one main firework.
A couple of fireworks. I found out a couple of different things in this episode of Married at First Sight. But let's get started. We saw that at the beginning of this episode of Married at First Sight, we continued with Dominique and McKinley was having a conversation with Pastor Cal, and Pastor Cal basically asked her, "What do you want to do?"
And her thing was, "I'm just over it." He was like, "But what does that mean, over it? You're over this marriage. You're over this conversation. Like, I need you to explain. I'm done with it. Yeah, okay, explain." And she's basically like, I want to get a divorce. After McKinley had said he was willing to continue to try.
Yeah, he was willing to work on it, willing to try with it because she was done. I mean, we'll jump into that.
I feel it's immature. I think that was her immaturity, her age showing, because one bump and you ready to throw in the towel.
Oh, she was ready to throw that towel in real quick.
Right.
It was to the point where she knew that she didn't like him anymore. She knew that they wasn't having great conversations anymore. She knew that it was frustrating. It was like pulling teeth, that she was, as she said, she was kind of leading him along. She had to make all the decisions, and she just didn't want to do it. It wasn't fun to her, right? Because it was like an amusement ride. She wanted to come in and have
an amusement ride.
It is. She wanted something fun. She didn't want to come in and have a cookie cutter marriage. She didn't want to have to come in and have to work at it. She wanted to be whatever she put on the paper, whatever her mom put on the paper, is what she wanted to have. And it wasn't that. And that Pastor Cal said it has to be work. Mm-hmm. Marriage is work. And she really wasn't willing to put in the work. Mm-mm. She was willing to have fun and have McKinley do whatever she wanted to do. As he said, that he could never get a word in edgewise, or she never compromised with him. It was always him compromising with her. And so she was determined and to call it over, to be done with it.
Mm-hmm. Even when she went later and met with her mom, her mom talked to her, was like, do you think you could have been a little more patient? Could you have? She said, I feel like I was as patient as I could be. Wrong. I disagree. You weren't. But, her mom was like, this was supposed to be the day for your housewarming. And, I was looking forward to, maybe talking to McKinley, kind of help you through this situation. And, she was like, well, did you really want to meet with him still? She was like, well, no, I don't now. But
I wish she would have, though. I really wish Mom would still have met with McKinley, just to see what was going on, because she's going to get one side of the story,
right?
And which is Dominique's side, and you can already tell by her conversation with Dominique that it was like, okay, this is on you. Mm-hmm. This is your fault. Like, you couldn't salvage, you couldn't last 14 more days. You couldn't last more than 14 days. Like, was he really that much that you said quit? Dominique, when she talked to the group, she said she just felt it in her gut. She had gut feelings. Her gut feelings said it wasn't going to work.
And even to the point where, that everybody was like really shocked because they did tell everybody, we chose to get a divorce. And, McKinley was like you said, I feel like I was always compromising, that she didn't really try. Kristen was like, I feel like you gave up before you actually had a chance to put in the effort. Nicole says you're going to regret this later, which I don't think she should have said that. And I don't think she's going to regret it later. But, I would say, right now, this sounds like the right thing. But I think if you could have stuck it out. And so she even went as far as to ask Dominique, if there was a chance, to give it more time, would you be willing to try that? She was like, well, maybe. And later, when she talked to McKinley as they're, picking up at the apartment, he was like, why did you say maybe if you really didn't mean it? Because he was like, did you say maybe just because you were in that setting? And she was like, yeah. I'm like, she said, I feel like no wouldn't have been the right answer to give. So I said maybe. Like, just be upfront. No. She says, I hope we can be friends. McKinley was like, I don't need no more friends.
Yeah, he didn't sign up to have friends. Whatever reason he signed up.
I don't want no friends.
Whatever reason he signed up for, whether it's for love or to be TV clout or whatever case may be, he didn't want any more friends. He wanted a wife. Mm-hmm. And so she kind deprive them of that after 14 days because, again, I figured 2 weeks, you're still working on it. You're still trying things out. You're still learning from it. It's like Alyssa and Chris from last season, or the Boston season, whatever season it was, Alyssa and Chris. It's like you have to, it was Boston season, at least put forth the effort and make it work. At times, I saw a little bit of effort from Dominique, but towards the last couple of weeks on the show, we didn't see the effort. I mean, she was fed up with the apartment. She was fed up about him living in the basement. She was fed up with all this other stuff, and she wasn't willing to commit to a long-term relationship or a long-term marriage, or 8-week marriage. I don't want to say long-term, 8-week marriage with McKinley. Mom said something to her. Mom said something like, well, 34, I wish she was more established. Again, like I said on the review and in our panel, she's looking for a dad. She's looking for a instant-made dad that can come in and handle things.
Well, not even that.
Or sugar daddy or poppy or zaddy or whatever you want to call it.
Well, not even that. Even when she was like, you would think at his age, he would be more, she was talking about like his attitude and his work, his effort putting forth in a relationship. Like he'd be more mature in that area too, is what she was saying. And I'm like, I think I absolutely think Dominique was the one that was immature in this. Pastor Cal said that. He said maybe 25 was too young. And he encouraged her, don't get into another relationship right away or now. Just get to know yourself, work that out.
Oh, that's not going to happen. She'd be out partying on Friday night. Whatever day this was, she's going to be out partying with the next couple of days. Her and the girls going to have a girls' night out and try to hang out with her and take her and get over this. And she can go party. Do I think 25 was too young? I don't think so. I got married when I was 23. I think it's the mind of the person.
Right.
I don't ever think it's the age, right? The age doesn't make a difference. It's the mindset of the person and what you're willing to do. It might be 25, might be young for married at first sight, but it's not young to get married. Especially when you give somebody a shot in the dark. They should have more conversation. I think Pastor Cal shouldn't have let them get divorced that easily. I know he can't hold it there and force them to do anything, but to me, I think you should have had more intervention, more counseling, more conversation.
He could tell she was closed off. She wasn't. She had shut down. She wasn't trying to do nothing else. And so I think Pastor Cal recognized, being the long-term married person he is, the pastor, the counselor, the expert that he is, he realized, why should I try to force her hand? Because she was like we said from the last episode, she came in like she was ready for battle. So he could tell from her posture and her attitude and how she responded to it. So I think that's why he didn't try to force the issue.
And, title of this, on our thumbnail, it didn't catch McKinley off guard. I mean, he said he caught him off guard. He should have seen this coming. I mean, I don't see how people say he caught me. He said he caught me off guard.
Yeah.
Like, bro, no, I didn't catch you off guard. Y'all hadn't been talking. You hadn't been living in the same.
It was blindsided.
It was blindsided, yeah. You haven't been living in the same apartment. You haven't been communicating.
But they just came off the honeymoon. Excuse me, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, bro, you haven't even had a chance to get into what married life will be like. And she's like,
I think, look, when somebody tell you they don't want to move in with you, to me, in my mind, the next thing, all right, we're getting divorced.
But that's what happened and we'll get to that, Gina and Clint.
Right.
We can talk about them next too.
Yeah,
that's what, Gina and Clint. Gina was like, I don't think I want to move in. But she also, in her did not want to move in. She didn't say that was it. And we see them have their housewarming and have friends over and everything.
Yeah, and Clint's the only guy. They do a little Mexican theme. He makes tacos. Clint makes all the food. She have a conversation with his friends, and he have a conversation with her friends. And it wasn't nothing, they just he talked about, before let's backtrack, Clint met one of his friends at the park where they was throwing frisbee. I can't remember the guy's name. And he made the joke about, she told me she ain't like redheads, but her dog, Hank, is all redhead, right?
Is
a ginger, and I'm a ginger. So, he's getting sound advice. He said his friend had been married for a while. I can't remember if he was divorced or not, but Clint's getting some advice. And you see Clint even from the last episode, Clint was like, I want to try to make it work. So he's trying to do everything he can to make it work. Unlike, McKinley and Dominique, you see Clint try to make it work. So now we get to the part where they're having a party, and Gina says she really was taken back by the fact that Clint was doing everything, that he was cooking, that he took care of the women. He was there with her friends, and he was kind of being
The
a good,
only guy.
the only guy, being a good host, and she started to like that aspect about him. And they are doing things to make their relationship gel together.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're communicating, and she decided finally to move in with him. She decided finally to move into the apartment with Clinton.
Because she was like, I know it was like really unneeded anxiety. You know, I had basically like kind of worked myself up, made the moving in thing bigger than it was, a bigger deal than it had to be. So yeah, she told her friends that they're still working on the physical connection, and that's one thing that I think Clint's friend told him.
Yeah.
You know, you develop some attraction as you go along. Don't so he was encouraged that Clint was willing to push through that.
Yeah, one thing is they're moving in together, but they're in separate rooms. I want to add that, right?
Right.
And then they're not in the same bed. They're not in all that, but Clint's moving into separate rooms to make her feel comfortable. At least he got her underneath the same roof, which is a good thing. We're starting to see them work on their relationship even more, and she's bringing a lot of bags. So she brought Hank, and so it seems like she wants to be there for a while. She wants to be with Clint. We'll see how that pans out. I mean, I don't know. Clint's saying all the right things and doing all the right things. I don't know how long he can keep it up.
Mm-hmm.
Because he said that's what he told Dominique McKinley. We're all working on it. We're all trying. Ain't none of us perfect. Ain't none of this is where we at, but we're all trying to get through this 8 weeks or these 6 weeks, whatever left.
6
weeks that is left. So that's it with Clinton and Gina. Wasn't much there. Let's go to Chris and Nicole.
Okay.
We see, even when they starting out, Pastor Cal's talking at the beginning of the show, we see Chris and Nicole coming out of the room half naked. He's grabbing her butt. They're having a good little, I don't know, I guess he's getting a free squeeze, a free grab in the morning, but he was talking about how some relationships are going better than others. And we see Nicole and Chris are having good relationships. Nicole wanted Chris to wear these ugly shirts.
When they're getting ready for their housewarming. So her she came up with the theme flamingo.
Yeah, flamingo.
So we want to mingle with flamingo. And so the shirts were pink and white striped on one side and flamingos on the other. And the one thing she did say that she could appreciate, she was like, I got these matching shirts. Do you want to wear it? And Chris was like, no, I don't think I will. He didn't like it. And what she said was she could appreciate that because she didn't want him to just be doing stuff to appease her. So she was encouraged that he didn't just wear the shirt for her, but he was able to speak up for himself and say, no, I don't want to wear it.
Yeah, and he didn't trip like Mitch. He didn't trip like Mitch did last year on the last season when they wanted Mitch to wear a shirt. He was really pleasant, and he told Nicole, look, I don't want to wear the shirt. And which, like I said, because his friend said later, Chris has been a pushover in relationships. That any girlfriend or a girlfriend could tell Chris to do whatever, he was doing it because he wanted to keep the relationship or keep the peace in the relationship. And Nicole's friend said it too, that she's pushy, she's bossy, but she need a man to kind of tell her no.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what Chris is. He may not do it as some of her past people in her relationship have done it, but Chris was able to stand his ground. And I think that was good. Her friends gave him some good advice. Like, look, she really likes you. We can see that she's kind of clingy, that's theory. But we need you to kind of have a backbone and be like, no, look, I'm not doing it. Hey, no, you're doing too much. Or, hey, slow down, because she does a lot. She does a lot. Even when his friends came in, and Devin and his brother, I believe.
Yeah, his brother and his friend Devontae.
Devontae came in. She was feeding everybody. Here, you want some food? You want this? You want that? She was
she's a good little hostess.
She's a good little hostess. Had a little short suit on. I'm like, she got some legs. She's a little thick down there. No one she took offense to what's his name's comments. But, she can be a little too much. And they eventually put the shirts on because they talked about it with a couple.
They were like, yeah, let us see the shirt.
Let us see the shirt. So
he put it on just to show.
They asked good questions. Like I said, the friends asked good questions in their relationship that Chris and Nicole both have to, Chris and Nicole both have to get along, and they both have to understand each other. And they have to understand each other and see how, see if he can be, is he always going to be a pushover, or if he's going to really stand up to her every time she goes off the handle. What was that code word they had?
Pineapple.
Pineapple. Well, he hasn't had to say it yet. I don't know if they still dealing with it or not. So we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else with Chris and Nicole?
Just that when they talked about the relationship, Chris did mention that Nicole gets a little more upset faster than he does. And again, like it doesn't bother him as long as it's not being directed at him, and he can kind of help redirect her too. But she hasn't had a full explosion.
Nah, no full explosion, no. Which is good. I'm sorry.
Like, why? Yeah.
But no full explosion there. Next, who you want to go to?
I don't know.
Let's go to Jasmine and Aris.
Okay.
For Jasmine.
Yeah, because we see, well, first we see Aris talk to his cousin Felina.
Felina, yes.
And we kind of, then when we get up with Jasmine and Aris, we kind of backtrack a little bit with their conversation. But Felina and Aris talk, and she's like, you know, how's everything going? And he said, you know, my wife is like really, really attracted to me.
Here we go again. Yo, Aris is like, Aris a 20 on a scale of 1 to 10 in his mind.
From her, too.
From her, yeah. That's what he thinks. He thinks he's the top dog.
And so Felina was like, oh, so you lacking the physical attraction? Oh, I figured it would go that way. What? Like, she was like, I figured, you know, you getting into this, it like wouldn't work out, that you would have some problems or issues. I'm like, but this is not the thing that you talked about. It really wasn't.
No.
Her issue was, again, that, you know, she got, Jasmine got pageant queen answers. And Aris kind of talked about that. It's like, you know, you don't answer the way she does because she has a structured answer. She is well thought out. It doesn't mean that she's being fake or whatever, just because you wouldn't answer like that. And in the end, when it came to the housewarming thing, because of that little rub that Felina and Jasmine had, we find out that when they were writing a guest list, Jasmine asked Aris, who do you want to invite? Well, I want to invite this person. And then Felina, and she was looking at him like,
really?
He was like, go ahead, write it down. She was like, no. She did not want to write her name down. And in the end, when it came time for the housewoman, Felina said she would rather not come anyway. So that worked out.
It worked out well. With the issue with that was Aris said they don't communicate well because what Jasmine could not do, she could not communicate that to Aris while she was there. She only had to communicate that to Aris through text message when she left the house. And he was like, yo, she communicated when she left, but we both have a communication issue because we don't talk about the serious things, which means they're not talking about the serious stuff about their relationship. He said he likes her.
And she's attractive.
Right.
He's just not attracted to her.
She attractive, but he's not attracted to her sexually.
Right.
Yeah, because other ways, emotionally, he's connected to her. Emotionally, he's fine with her being kind and being nice and being caring. But the other way is he doesn't have a feeling to have sex with her. And she was just once again, when she was her friend, she just wanted to, when she was with the rest of the couples, she was like, I just want to take the clothes off. I just want to take my clothes off. I'm like, why don't y'all just both get naked and look at each other and see what happens?
But that is one thing I would say that Felina did encourage him to do, you know, to try something, try to create some chemistry, try to, you know, just kiss her, just do it that way, which I was surprised that she encouraged him to do that.
I think she wants his best interest at heart, but I think she knows him and knows that when he's feeling it, not feeling it, and she don't want anybody to hurt him. You know, I always joke about play cousin. She's not his play cousin, but because the dude came in like, where your cousin at? Real cousin, like they family. I think that's one of the issues that Aris is gonna have. And let's not talk about the sex. And I think Jasmine brings it up with the couple about sex. When McKinley asks who's having sex, and then Jasmine goes into it. How much of the relationship can you guys build in the 8 weeks and not have sex? Can you focus on other things other than the sexual aspect of it? You know, can you have great communication, great trust, and all that? Build all that stuff up and let sex come when it comes. Not necessarily force it after 2 weeks. And as the running joke with him is try to blow somebody's back out. I mean, you're not everybody. Y'all have to move at your pace.
Which we forgot to mention that Nicole and Chris did let the other couples know that they consummated.
Multiple times. Yeah,
And
anytime.
that was the joke. Oh, you getting your back blown out? You get.
Yeah.
But I think they twisted and said Chris got his.
Chris got his blown out. We'll see. One thing that was interesting to me when they had the housewarming was Eric's Jasmine's aunt. First of all, if you ever guest in my house, don't come and hop on my bed. Don't hop on my bed. I was like, did she just hop on the bed? Anyway, they talked about the dogs. Chris likes the one dog.
Eris, you mean?
Eris likes the one dog, sorry. But he can't sell the other 4. She's like, I'd be gladly for her to get rid of the dog.
Yeah, they asked him, okay, what if she wanted to get rid of the dogs? He was like, I'd be so happy about that. They were like, oh wow. She's not gonna get rid of the dogs. But because that was the other thing that she mentioned when his friends were, when they were at the housewarming is that she normally sleeps in a bed with all 4 of the dogs. And they were like, all 4 of them? But she was like, remember, I was a single woman and I had a big king size bed, so they all slept in the bed with me.
Okay, if I'm a single man and I'm not sleeping. Sorry, y'all. This is for me. I'm not sleeping with dogs. Y'all can sleep with dogs all you want. I ain't sleeping with dogs. My mother always told me, lay down with dogs, you get over fleas. I'm just saying. I'm not sleeping with dogs. Sorry. That's what it is.
So anyway,
get some thumbs down on this one for saying that.
Oh no. But yeah, so that was the thing. So I think he was a little too happy to say, I'd be glad if she got rid of the dogs.
He didn't want to deal with them. I mean, he thinks that dogs take away from them, but he also thinks 4 dogs is too much. And where we're going to move with these 4 dogs and where we're going to live with these dogs. And then you take care of other 9 dogs, because I think she had a total of 13 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So what are we going to do with all these dogs? And we're still trying to learn each other. I'm cool with the one big dog. I can't remember the dog's name.
Duchess.
I'm cool with Duchess, but the rest of them, gotta go. I can do with 1. And I mean, it hasn't been a big issue in their relationship as of yet, but if they continue through the 8 weeks and that situation comes, I think it will be a big issue. Mm-hmm. What else was there? Not much from her side. She told Eris's friends that they hadn't had sex, and they look surprised.
Which messed her up because he says he's a sexual person.
Yeah.
So she was like, make it make sense.
Mm-hmm.
You're a sexual person. I would like to do that with you, but you're not doing that with me.
That tells you he don't like you. I mean, you ain't got to be Sherlock Holmes or anybody to read through the clues. He does not like you sexually. He likes you physically. And
like he told Felina, physicality is a big thing with me. So even though I like her in these other areas, like I can't get past that to get to the sexual piece.
Yeah. Problem.
Anyway.
Big problem.
All right. So then last but not least.
Kirsten and Shaq. I was surprised when we jumped to the couples thing. He was like, yeah, she wasn't attracted to me at first, but look at her now.
Rubbing all over my ball head.
But you see their body language. I mean, she wasn't attracted, but she's all up on him. She's real close. And I'm not saying that's for show or for other TVs or for the couples, but she's really starting to show attraction to him. She's starting to like dude. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's growing on her.
Yeah, they had holding hands, they had their arms interlocked and everything.
Yeah. I mean, even when their friends came, they was kind of, they brought couples, which I thought was interesting.
Yes, the dynamic, two married couples.
Yeah, 2 married couples to come to their party. They wanted to learn about marriage and talk about intimacy and everything.
Very smart.
Very smart. So they were strategic about who they brought to their party. And so what they really talked about was her attraction, her not being able to kiss, her not kissing him. That was one of the big things they need to discuss. Like, why are you not kissing? Well, I don't like kissing.
I'm not a good kisser.
I'm not a good kisser.
And Shaquille was like,
let me judge that.
Who's not a what?
Yeah, you let the person
who
told her she wasn't a good kisser. Now, if you're a person that don't like to kiss, that's understandable. But what else are you doing to meet that physical, that intimacy of your husband or your spouse? Is it? You only hug with so much. You can only, whatever the case may be. Sometimes he wants a kiss on the cheek, a hold, a kiss on the lip, a peck. I don't think he's asking her to tongue him down. I think he's asking him just to show that affection and show that love,
Or something.
to show some kissing. That it may move to other levels and may move to other things. So they talked about that. And it was like they were kind of taken back by the fact that they didn't do it, or they wasn't really showing too much intimacy.
Yeah, there was like no consummation here.
Yeah, but again, the intimacy in their relationship is big because she's starting to lighten up to him, starting to be attracted to him, but it's not happening. And it's not happening. But she says he checks all the boxes. Again, he checks all the boxes. She likes what she sees. He likes being organized. She likes the fact that he's organized. She likes the fact that he's a hard worker. But everybody wants to know, even their friends want to know, why isn't it moved on past that?
Mm-hmm.
And she can't really give them an answer. She can't give them an answer on why it's taking her that long.
I think that was Kirsten. It's Kirsten, right?
Yes, Kirsten.
I've heard it both ways, but Kirsten's cousin, I think that was her cousin.
Mm-hmm.
That was with the guy with the locks. Was that her cousin or his friend?
I think his friend.
Well,
Whatever.
Yeah, they talked about the fact though that initially they weren't attracted to each other, and then like it just kind of struck them one day like, I think I kind of like them, but it took time of them being around each other and relating to each other in other ways outside of the physical for them to be like, oh wait, I kind of like her. So I think they needed to hear that, like a real life example of we didn't start off being attracted to each other. We were just friends. It was just friendly, but it eventually got to that. Like something will click.
Yeah. Were you attracted to me?
No.
I know you were. Not day one. I loved you day one, bro.
I had a boyfriend. Why would I be attracted to you if I had
a girlfriend? I still thought you looked good day one. Sorry.
That's the difference between guys and girls, I think.
What you mean?
I don't know.
I just didn't want to get the sheets with you. I
I
thought
didn't say that about what.
I thought you
I
were attracted.
Wasn't even thinking about it.
Oh, it wasn't?
Mm-mm. Not when I first met you. Mm-mm.
That hurt my feelings on TV. No, I'm just kidding. No. But attraction does come after a period of time. After you spend time with a person and you have a relationship with them, attraction comes. And we'll see how the attraction comes even further along down the road. But I think the biggest thing from the episode, the fact that Dominique and McKinley didn't make it. Sad, because I think that she could have given more time. Do I think it was going to last? No. Do I think she should have gave more time to it?
So here's the question. How long before you think he'll move back to Michigan since he came to Tennessee for love?
Oh, he's gone. He moved within the next 3 weeks.
Which is not good because that was her concern.
Well, we'll see.
That you would just pick up and leave.
Yeah, pick up and leave. She needed stability. He couldn't provide stability. Her immaturity, she came through. Not because of her age, because I don't want to say her immaturity was because she's 25.
Mm-hmm.
Her immaturity came because she wasn't willing to try to work it out. And that was one of the biggest. And I'm not saying that she had to be gun-ho for them, but at least go through all the process, the counseling, the supports, because you have more supports here than you do everything else. And when she said, I don't want to be a friend, I think that was a jab. And when he said he didn't want to be a friend, you got to understand that you just broke it off with this dude for no reason. He felt blindsided. Of course he's not going to be your friend.
But the other thing is, why would I be friends with somebody that's trying to change me and has complaints about the person I am?
The person I am. Said I'm not. Said I'm too much of an introvert. I told you she wanted excitement. So we'll see. Hey, you guys let us know what you thought about Dominique McKenzie. What you thought about this past episode. McKinley. Let us know what you thought about this episode of Married at First Sight. If we missed anything, leave a comment in the comment section below.
Which I'm sure we did, because we're on location.
You're on location. Don't have the full notes that we normally have. So let us know what we missed. Let us know your thoughts. Leave a comment in the comment section below. And we thank you for joining us. And we'll catch you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.